Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fancy Football. And this is week 32 Premier League prediction. We will look at games for this weekend, and we will predict the outcome of this game with no other person than Nonso Arunzeji. Good afternoon, Nonso, and how are you?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be part of the show.
Okay, Nonso always have a crystal ball. Hope your crystal ball is ready and hot, shining, and well polished for this show.
Absolutely, I'm ready to go. And like I said, I think I can do no wrong right now. So good to go.
Between your crystal ball, let me ask you this: between your crystal ball and octopus, the octopus have predicted some of the
The FIFA
outcome of
in
the FIFA
2010.
World Cup in 2010. Between your
Yeah.
crystal ball and the octopus Paul, rightly, I think that's the full name. Uh, who has been perfect so far?
I think my crystal ball has been good. Octopus failed when it matters the most, especially in the finals of that competition. So I will stick to my crystal ball all day long, and twice on Sunday. So I think I'm over 60 to 70%. So it's not about it for me so far. On my crystal ball. So I'll stick with my crystal ball all day long.
Okay, let's hope starting at the Charlotte Park, Crystal Palace, where Crystal Palace welcome Manchester City. What's your take about that match, and what will be the outcome? What will be your prediction about that match? If you look at Crystal Palace last time out, they were, I think they were at they should be they had a
Was it?
1-1 draw. No.
Yeah.
They had a 1-1 draw. If you look at Crystal Palace, they had a let me see their last time outing. Crystal Palace last time outing. So they were at home to Burnley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they played a 1-0 draw.
Oh, they were at home to Bournemouth, and they lost 1-0 on Tuesday to Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yeah, away to Bournemouth.
They were away to Bournemouth. And if you look at their last 5 matches in the EPL, they've not really been doing well. They've only had 1 win in the last 5, 2 draws and 2 losses. So that
Yeah.
means they have an overall 5 points in their last 5 matches. They are
They
seated
point
14.
to
They are seated 14 on the log. But one
yeah.
funny thing about this Crystal Palace, they were the only side that held Manchester City to a goalless draw at the Etihad Stadium last December.
Yeah. But
So,
to be sincere with
go ahead.
I still don't fancy Crystal Palace. See, from now to the end of the season, they would wobble. They're still trying to, like I told you, said last week during the prediction, that they are still trying to find out their best combination. Looking at life after Roy Hodgson, he was like a furniture at the club. He left, came back again, and due to illness and some poor run of form, he was shown the exit door. So they will have to wait. Like they say, I was to say that sometimes it just has to get worse to get better. And that's the problem with Crystal Palace right now. It's too more or less the experimental phase of the team. They've got a good manager. I think he won the Europa League with Frankfurt, so he has a good record when it comes to teams. So, but it will take time. It will take time, and I don't still fancy them in this encounter as well.
Okay, you don't fancy them in this encounter. Let me just see what they've been up to. I think if you look at the last time they beat Man City at home was way back in 2015.
Yeah.
And the only team City have scored a goal against when they come to London is Crystal Palace. That was the last team they scored. So City, for me, if you look at the City team, look at what they played in their last match against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You will find out that they mean business. But whether they will capitulate at the end in this running, that's what I don't know. So it depends on who capitulates first: City, Arsenal, Liverpool. So all around them. So
I think for Man City, like I said, this is the part of the season they enjoy the most, the running. Don't forget when they had this same kind of running with Liverpool. That season where they won the league, they hit 100 points. Liverpool got 99, remember, and they won the league by just a point. So Man City they are not new campaigners, and they are not new to this terrain. So as much as there's so much pressure on the likes of Arsenal and the likes of Liverpool. I think Man City, this place looks like home to them because this is where they've been for the past 4 or 5 seasons. So, our fans, don't forget, they are, despite the fact that they don't care Kevin De Bruyne, seems one man has decided to grow and begin to take up that role as a number 10. Phil Foden, what a hat trick he had the last time against Aston Villa. He practically tore that team apart because if Phil Foden show, he stepped up when they needed him most, and bang, 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 it is for him. So, like I said, I was too fancy Man City to win it. I love to go with history. Like you said, Crystal Palace managed to get a draw the last time at the Etihad Stadium. But don't forget, it's one thing that you must be able to know. Despite that goalless draw they got, don't forget, Arsenal were the first team to stop them from scoring in 57 games. And then they reacted with a victory against Aston Villa by scoring not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. So it's not a good time to go visit Man City at the moment, especially now you know that they're chasing it.
The City should be at the Charlotte Park, so not.
It's not whether they play the game at Selhurst Park, whether they play the game at Wembley Stadium.
I think we should understand. For City, whether you play it at Wembley Stadium, whether you play at Charlotte Park.
Exactly.
It's still the same for them, but playing in Selhurst Park is so difficult. It's just like playing in the old hybrid by any side.
Exactly. Very small compact
stadium. So,
but unfortunately, let's be realistic.
But looking at I understand. Unfortunately,
the Selhurst Park has not been a fortress for Crystal Palace in recent times.
It hasn't been. That's the point.
For last 2 seasons, I would say, Manchester has got a game in their hand. But recent times, they have been suffering some kind of crazy defeats at home. And don't forget, that was why they sacked Roy Hodgson. And the new manager himself has not changed the. You see a game where Crystal Palace play so well, and they manage to get a draw. They play so badly, they get beaten at home. Maybe the rub of the players trying to acclimatize the philosophy of the new manager. But like I said, this is a good time to visit the Selhurst Park because they're not where they used to be or where they ought to be.
Okay, so what's your prediction on this match and also?
Funny enough, I want to go with Man City to get all 3 points, but I don't know. My crystal ball is telling me no. It's shining, give me a red signal. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. So I foresee a draw in this one. I foresee a 2-2 draw. Crystal Palace, Man City.
A 2-2 draw. Crystal Palace, Man City. Okay, let's move forward to the next match. Wolverhampton, West Ham. These two sides in their last match. For West Ham, I think it has been dropping of points left, right, center. For Wolf, I think the form has been awful.
They
are all over the place for these two teams. If you look at West Ham, only one win in their last. They are seated 7th position behind Man United. Only one win in their last 5 matches. 3 draws and 1 defeat in their last 5 matches. And for Wolverhampton, 2 wins in their last 5 matches, 2 defeats, 1 draw. So if you look at their point overall for Wolverhampton, it's 7 points, and for West Ham, it's 6 points in their last 5 matches out of 15. So I just think that if you look at these two sides, the last time out, West Ham. In their last 2 matches, they lost against Newcastle. They drew at home against Spurs. These are 2 difficult matches where you can still beat them. You can still expect them to take something out of it, especially when they played against Newcastle. They were leading in that match 3 goals to 1, but they allowed Newcastle to come back into the match, courtesy of 2 goals from Harvey Barnes, and Isak. We look at the Tottenham match. You still expect them to take something away from it, but still they're disappointed. Now, looking at these 2 teams as they square up, do you really think that either side could go into this match with a lot of positive?
Exactly. I think for Fulham, the positive is the fact that the coach was a bit little. He made a 3 substitutions. Fulham. West Ham.
This is West Ham.
West Ham is playing against who?
Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolf.
Yeah, that's my point. Maybe I stand to be corrected, but I think they need a change of manager. David Moyes has taken them how far he can take them. He's won the Europa Conference League. He's taking them to Europe at some point. and it looks like there's diminution in terms of setting in. And when it's not working, it's not working. To be sincere with you, they were lucky to get a draw against Tottenham Hotspur in front at the London Stadium. They caught that header by Kotzuma. They were very lucky to get a draw in that game. But anyway, they say when a team is bad, when a bad team meets a worse team, there's a chance for all 3 points. Wolves themselves they've not been pretty as well, to be sincere with you. Wolves were knocked out of the FA Cup. I think the Wolves started from that FA Cup loss to a lowly rated team, and then since then they haven't found their mojo. Even in the game against Aston Villa, they had chances to bury that game, but they ended up losing that game by 2-0. And last time they drew again.
They drew against Burnley.
Exactly. Last time they drew 1-1 again. So I don't know. So Wolverhampton Wanderers are not in a good place, to be sincere with you. That's my own issue. I can't wait to see how far they can go. But to me, I want to stick my money where my mouth is, and I think I'll go with West Ham to get the job done in this encounter.
But looking at the caliber of players which these two teams have, I think we expect more from them, because Wolf, we all know how they play. They are even under, when they play under the Portuguese manager that's currently in Nottingham
Forest.
Yeah. You can see that they were very, very evasive. They give teams run for their money. When I say run for their money, they give teams run for their money. But at the end of the day, you think that this Wolf side should be right up there in the mix for the Europa position. But you can see where they are in the league. They've been off and on under Gary O'Neill, and people expect more from them. But what do you think they should do?
Gary O'Neill is trying to get the best out of this Wolves team with limited resources. He lost some of his best players, Adama Traore. He lost some of his key players. Unfortunately, injury has not been kind to him as well. With the likes of Pedro Neto, who he thought has returned, but back again to the doctor's office. He's trying to make use of what he's got, And to be sincere with you, I think he's done a great job. Look at where they are on the table, where he picked them, where they are on the table. It looks like they're going to be playing Premier League football come next season. They may not get to Europe. Maybe I'm asking too much from them, but they are safe, and that's what's important. For West Ham, to be sincere with you, they should be competing for European football. With the quality of players at their disposal, Lucas Paqueta, Gerard Bowen, Antonio, Mikel Antonio. Look at the midfield, Alvarez from whether they got from Ajax as well. They got Afonso Areola. They've got Lucas Fabianski, two fantastic goalkeepers. In the backline, called Zuma. They've got Naif Agad, the guy who plays for Morocco. So I think they are punching far below their weight, and that's why I think they need a change of manager. As much as he has taken them as far as they can, but the system, sometimes when you have some quality players and you want to play a certain style of football, that doesn't suit to them. No matter how you try to chop, you try to cover, you try to train, it's not working. Paqueta wants to play flamboyant football. Look at the pass he gave to Antonio at the game against Newcastle. That can only be given is a top 4 pass. Like I talked about, it looks like a top 4 pass. He should be playing for Man City or Arsenal because the precision, the turn, the way he caressed that ball, and the way he dropped the ball in front of Antonio. To me, it was half of that goal already. That was it. All Antonio need to do was smack the ball in the back of the net. So for West Ham, they're not where they ought to be, and I think they need a change of money. But I think when they are playing a Wolverhampton team, who also I think they've lost their identity. So like I said, the new coach trying to change the way they played under Espirito Santo. They played this direct football. They have a go at you, and that's what he's trying to do at Nottingham Forest at the moment. But under the new manager, he wants to be a bit. He wants to play with a bit guile, pass the ball around, move the ball quicker. In short, he wants them to enjoy the game, be entertaining as well as being productive. He will come good. I think he's a fantastic manager. I'm a big fan of what he's doing at Wolves, but it will take time before he gets the kind of players he wants to play the style of play. Because most of the players who he's got at his disposal are players who tried under Nuno Espirito Santo, playing the way Nuno Espirito Santo wants to play. So it's a work in progress. West Ham, if they can't win this game, come on, man. I don't know what game they want to win. The pressure is piling on David Moyes, and he better start getting results, or else he could be showing the exit door.
Okay. Prediction for this match, please.
I think West Ham will have just enough. 2-1 victory for West Ham United.
2-1 victory for West Ham United. Okay, quickly, let's look at two sides that are battling relegation. Last time out, both got a 1-1 draw each. Everton at home to Burnley. They are struggling. Everton are struggling for all their lives. I think They are the breaking point for me. I think the Everton team is at the breaking point, whether we like it or not. They are seated just some few points above the relegation zone in 16th position. Burnley they've been on 19th position for a very, very long time. So if you look at 19 points, 26 points, and Everton have not won any match in their last 5. 3 losses, 2 defeats. For Burnley, 1 win, 1 loss, 3 draw, which is good for them. So they've picked up 6 points in their last 5, which is good for them as of where they are. Looking at these two sides, low in confidence, especially Everton. How do you think these two sides to approach each other? Because for me, they are all fighting. They are all fighting to survive the drop, to against the drop. Everton, for them, I think it will be for them. If they drop this season, it will be a lesson learned for me. That's where I saw it. And for Burnley also, it will also be a lesson learned that you have to prepare when you come up, when you step up to the Premier League. The Premier League is so difficult and cruel that if you don't play on a match day, you'll be smacked 6 goals to nil, 7 goals to nil. It's not like the Championship. The Premier League, you'll be smacked 6 goals to nil, 7 goals to nil. You'll be beating black and blue. So, but first of all, how do you think these two teams this season will fare at the end of the day? Who will pick all 3 points?
Listen to the Vincent Company a while ago, long time at the start of the season, and he told you that this season, this team is not ready. That they will be ready in the next 2 seasons, and we saw that he was already planning. Even if the team gets relegated, he knows for sure that it's a work in progress. They don't have the financial power of the teams in the Premier League, so he's trying to work with what he's got, get some loan players or players from Man City, from the academy, to make a team, which I think he has done his best, and he's saying that the team will be ready in the next 2 seasons. So I think Burnley will go down. But if they go down, it's not going to be news to us because we know it will take an absolute miracle for them to stay up. But with Everton, like we did say the last time out, they've been 2 times lucky on the final day to remain in the Premier League. And I think they've got some quality, though again, limited by the financial resources at their disposal, with so many players on loan, or either on loan or at, maybe 1 year left in their contract. Don't forget, they've let go from their big names already. So, but they've got a coach who understands what it means to play to save the team from the drop. In the name of Sean Dyche, former coach of a certain Burnley team who they'll be meeting. He knows some of the players at Burnley, and when I was at Burnley, they played a certain style that was not good to the eye. It was pragmatic. It was nauseating. It was unacceptable to some of the footballing bookmakers who felt that football should really play that way. But I can tell you something, it was effective and efficient. And I think that is the way he would go again in this encounter. He would try as much as possible again to be stubborn, rugged, rigid. He's got some good scorers in that team. Don't forget there's McNeil, there's Robert Calvert-Lewin. If you look at the midfield, there's Onana, who's also been touted for a big move at the summer. They've got Beto as well scoring goals. Brett White and that player who's in the books of we hear that Man United is in their wish list. So they've got some good players, and the man knows how to churn out results. It may not be pretty against Burnley. Burnley under Vincent Company wants to pass the ball for a team who doesn't have the quality of Man City. He wants to inculcate that style in them. Like I said, it's a work in progress. It will take time for Burnley, and that's why I feel at the Goodison Park, Everton will be too much for them in their counter. Everton, to me, he that is down, we sing that song every day. He that is down fears no fall. So both of them are down, but the team who has got much at stake is Everton. Everton, when they got 6 points, but they still got to have a better chance of staying up in the league than Burnley. That's because of the experience they've got at this level. So for me, I want to go with history, and I think Everton at the Goodison Park will have just enough to get up 3 points. After that magnificent result they got away from home, that 1-1 draw. Cutting that late penalty for Calvert-Lewin last time out.
Okay, final score.
Burnley would score. I think they're quite energetic, and but Everton will win the game by 3 goals to 1.
Everton should win the game by 3-1. Okay, let's move on to Aston Villa, sitting pretty fourth position with 59 points against Brentford, who also drew with Brighton last time out. Yeah. So when you look at these two teams, Brentford, they play directly, always looping the ball up. For me, I think it's an old style of playing, but very, very effective. If you have good strikers like Anthony that can run behind, you have Brian Nguemo, the Cameroonian, that can also hook the ball as well. Yes, and Yohan Wissa, the Congolese also. So you can see. You can see what Thomas Frank is trying to do with those three players. Maybe sometimes he play them at once. Sometimes he play either two of them and drop one of them because he knows that he will need one of them. When you look at Aston Villa, they are at home. You expect them to win this match and get all 3 points. But you look at last time out against City were just too good for them. When they got that 1-1 equalizer, people were saying, this could be a banana peel for City. But they didn't stay tight. Unai Emery didn't make them stay tight in that match, stay in the match because of the way they play expansively. But I think it's a good one for Unai Emery. If he manages to take this Aston Villa side to the Champions League, it will be a good one for him. What do you think about this match quickly, and what do you think will be the outcome of the match at the end of the day?
Brentford, energetic, with their PE teacher, Thomas Frank, trying to, like I love to call it, the guy is like, he teaches them like they are his kids, his children. Do this, don't be too intricate, don't add no swagger in my football, just do this, and we'll get the result. Proper PE teacher, absolute English manager. For a certain Aston Villa, they are still sulking from that 4-1 defeat to Man City, which I think was avoidable. All the goals scored by Phil Foden were goals that they could have avoided. That free kick from Phil Foden, where was the wall? Non-existent. How did he get so much time to smack the ball? Even when he was even sleeping. He was slept, but he still got good contact. That tells you the marking was totally non-existent. But anyway, thanks to goodness to Tottenham Hotspur and their inability to beat West Ham United, they still stay fourth on the table. Now, it's all about them. I think they've got the ascendancy. Unai Emery, don't forget, they failed to get Champions League football. Like I said last time, despite even having managers like Martin O'Neill, who were yet so close yet so far. Can Unai Emery break the jinx and give them Champions League football, which I think would be like a trophy to this Aston Villa team, if you would ask me. Playing at the Villa Park, another advantage. That place looks like a fortress. They find a way to win games and they will score goals, a truckload of goals whenever they play at home. Brentford, on the other hand, they have been quite wasteful in recent times. Watch the game against Man United on a good direction. Between Man United by 5 or 6 before that goal from Mason Mount. And again against Brighton as well, they showed their wastefulness again. They should have scored a goal or two against Brighton as well. So I want to go with Aston Villa. If they can get their players fired in the likes of Musa Diaby, Zaniolo as well, the Italian, not forgetting John, or maybe if they can get back Oli Watkins, we'll see whether he's going to be fit to play because he's going to be crucial. I think if he had played against Man City, he would have had 1 or 2 or more chances to get the goal. So I want to bank on Aston Villa to continue their good home record and continue their chase for the Champions League next season.
Final score.
I want to bank. I don't see a game where I ever thought it would be on a good day and not score, except Aston offensive, and I don't think they can be. So I'll say Aston Villa win the game by 2-1.
2-1 for Aston Villa. Okay,
Absolutely.
let's go quickly. Fulham, Newcastle. Fulham has been in a very terrible run of form recently. We know that they went to after they won at United, they had 2 consecutive wins. But since then, they've not been able to replicate that form. In their last 5 matches, we saw what they had, what they could do. 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. That's 9 points after 31 matches. For Newcastle, they are still sitting pretty 8th position behind West Ham, 44 points with 2 wins, 2 draws, identical run of form between the two sides, and 1 defeat. So when you look at this two sides, you will say nothing will separate this. Nothing should separate these two sides. But you look at the firing power of Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes, Isak. You look at the firing power. You look at Fulham. You look at Williams. You look at some other players that can really come up and step up. Iwobi as well. Behind you have our own Calvin Bassey as well. Tosin as well. You saw him the way he saved the team. Yes, in their last match, almost got a win as well, but that was cancelled for an upside. So when we look at these two teams, who do you think will carry the day at the end of the day?
Fulham had a terrible game, a nightmare performance against Nottingham Forest at the City ground. Don't forget, the coach had to make 3 changes as early as the first half. And when he was asked after the game, he said he could, if possible, he could have made up to 6 or 7. Unfortunately, he didn't have the opportunity to do so. That's how awful they were. But I'm be sincere with you, including our own Alex Obi was changed in that first half. Those changes he brought in made a change because in the second half, they totally dominated the game, but unfortunately, just like I did say, they couldn't get the goals. They are playing. I think this game they should be thinking. I think for the coach, talking about the coach of that is Silva, Marco Silva, is about redemption. Trying to correct the wrong of what we saw. I think that's the worst Fulham performance I've seen all season. Halftime 3-0. Where did that come from? You have to rely on one man. Tosin Adarabioyo. It's 2 goals in. It's second goal in 2 games. To get you out of jail, at least to put yourself on the score sheet. So for me, they have to work on their finishing. What we get in Fulham teams that they will create lots of chances, but you can't bank on them scoring lots of goals. When they had this certain striker, Raul Jimenez, they were scoring goals. They got to this other striker again, he was scoring, but I think they've got injury watch with their number 9. So they try to play, let's say, mishmash of first 9. Try to play Rodrigo Muniz as the number 9, to get goals. And to be sincere, the lack of striker is hurting them. But I want to see a reaction. I think Marco Silva will get a reaction. The manager who would drag them in training, who will push them to their limits in training, because it takes a manager who knows how terrible it is. Not a manager, that's what how terrible they are. We make 3 changes in the first half. I was watching the game, I was like, wow, the manager has seen enough. They have seen enough against another Forest to make those changes. So they're playing against what are they taking on again?
They're playing against Newcastle.
Newcastle has got a player who is on form, 6 goals in 6. We hear it in the books of Aston, Alexander Isak, the Swedish international. He seems to be everything good coming from him. The game, he had 2 goals and an assist against West Ham. Also, the goal scoring record in that 1-1 draw earlier this week in that game against Everton, where Calvin equalized. So. I think Newcastle will have a good game, but I foresee a draw in this one. Fulham will have come to get a reaction, but Newcastle want to continue their good run. Don't forget, it seems they've now understood what it means to combine both European football and club and English Premier League and the FA Cup. It's a very daunting task. I think playing the Champions League affected their Premier League campaign, but they want to end the season on a high, and I think they will give it all. I think to end in a draw in this encounter.
Okay, to end a draw. Is it a score draw?
It has to be a score draw. A score draw. I see a 1-1 draw, and I fancy Isak to score again.
Okay, quickly let's look at Luton Town, who lost last time out against Arsenal, and Bournemouth, who won against Wolves last time out. So these two teams, you see Luton Town also still finding their way in the EPL. If you look at where they are in the standing, they are in the relegation zone as well. In short, all the teams that let me just say this: all the teams that came up last year are fighting relegation, from Sheffield, Burnley, Luton Town. So Luton Town, we've seen them. They will play against Bournemouth. Bournemouth will be away to Luton Town. So what do you think will be the outcome of this match? Seeing the way both teams have been playing. Bournemouth 11, 41 points. Luton Town 22 points, sitting at 18th position. Last time out, Luton Town in their last 5, no wins in their last 5, just 2 draws. And Bournemouth, I think they are one of the most informed side in the Premier League now, with only 1 draw and 4 wins in their last 5. Yeah, in short, they have identical points with Arsenal, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City. And Bournemouth have identical point with Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, identical runs with Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah, but the thing is this: Luton Town, despite their woeful performance against Arsenal, against a less strengthened Arsenal side at the Emirates Stadium, they could have done better. The goals they considered were very much avoidable. Arsenal were in gear 1. I think they were in gear 4. I don't think Arsenal even got to gear 3. It could have been up to 6 or 7-0. But there's one thing I've learned with Luton Town: they are hard not to crack at their stadium. Yeah. Playing at Luton is a very difficult task. I think Arsenal managed to scrape. Was it a one? Last season was 4-3. This season it was 1-0. I think so, 2-1. Man City also managed to scrape a victory. It's not going to be pretty at Luton. That's what you must be sure. Bournemouth, like you said, are having a good run. They've got a striker who's on fire in all cylinder in Dominic Solanke. What a player! Like I said, I want to see that guy in the plane to Euros. He has proven himself without reason that he deserves a seat to that plane to Euros. It seems with every game that passed by, he's improving his credentials. But I think Luton Town will get something at home because of the home fans. They seem to be different when they play at home. And don't forget, the fans are very close to the pitch, and they are part of the football they play in that stadium. They will use the width of the pitch to get the likes of Alfie Doughty to get crosses in. I know when it comes to set pieces, only Arsenal has a better record than Luton Town in the Premier League. They have players that can attack the ball. From the captain, the captain, is it? I can't remember his name now. To Woodrow, to the Nigerian as well. They've got players who can attack the ball. But their centre back as well are good in the air. So Bournemouth will have to watch the set pieces, corner kick, free kick, crosses. They will have to be ready to win the area battles. For that reason, I think Bournemouth will score goals, but they will also concede. So I say a draw in this encounter as well.
1-1 draw.
I say a 2-2 draw. A 2-2 draw in this encounter.
Yeah. Okay. The next match up for us to look at is Brighton at home to Arsenal. Brighton, they've been a very difficult nut to crack in the Premier League even against the big boys. They always come to play against the big boys. They are set 9 position for 3 points, and we expect a lot also from them, from Brighton as well. We saw they gave Liverpool run for their money last time out. They had a 1-1 draw as well against
Brentford. The goalless draw, Brighton. Brentford, the goalless draw, I think so.
No, a 1-1 draw against Brentford.
Okay. Goalless draw.
Oh, a goalless draw against Brentford. So we expect a lot from them. Looking at their form for Brighton, just 1 win in their last 5, 2 draws, 2 defeats. And for Arsenal, we all know where they are. They are still on top of they are closely on top of the league. Table. Yes. Let's just say they are there with Liverpool on top of the table for now.
Yeah.
When we look at Arsenal and the form they've been, 1 draw in their last 5, 4 wins. I think it's been understandably good run for them this season. It depends on how far they could go for this team. What do you think should be the outcome quickly?
Brighton, like you said, are not in a good place, but that stadium, Brighton play, the Amex Stadium, the American Express Stadium, is a stadium you don't want to visit. You may think they're having a pot on 4, but when they hit their strike, those guys can score 4 or 5 at home. They've got some good strikers like Danny Welbeck. They've got players like this Evans Ferguson as well. They've got this young man Adingra, the man who punished Nigeria at the African Cup of Nations. They've got some other quality players. And so far, he can barely get game time at Brighton, and we know why, because of the quality of the depth. They've got Pervin Estupinian at left back, Derek Lapte, Louis Dunk. They've got this man Billy Gilmore in midfield. They have a midfield. Larana coming in from the bench as well. Boy, they've got Pascal Gross. They've got Solly March, who's also out injured right now. And so they've got a good team. Absolutely, they've got a good team. And this is a potential banana peel for Arsenal. This will really test Arsenal's credentials if they want to be crowned champions of the Premier League come the end of the season. Arsenal, like you said, coming from a 2-0 victory against Luton Town, where the coach made a total of 5 changes. And even at halftime, kept on changing and changing. It looks like Arsenal looked like they were playing that match. They played it in parts, in bits and parts. But they got the job done. A lot of people say one of the worst matches they've watched, but who cares? When you win and you rest players like Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, rest some key players in midfield. Declan Rice came in the second half, as well as Jorginho, giving some people some moments of respite and giving the likes of Reece Nelson a run out in the game. It's something you need to commend Arteta, finding the way to win even after making so much changes to the team. And now I think the big boys return back. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, Saka, they will return back to the starting lineup. That I can assure you. But then Brighton will give a run. I think Arsenal are in a good place. Like I said, they've only dropped point twice this season. Since January, they draw against Manchester City, and I think they draw against Liverpool as well. Other games have been a clean sweep for Arsenal in 2024. What a year it's been for them. So I think that run will continue. I think they will get Brighton would also. I'm not saying that it will be a walk in the park, but I think Arsenal will have enough firepower in them to get the full result they need to get victory in this one. So I think Arsenal win the game away from home to continue the race for the running for the Premier League title.
Okay, scoreline, please.
I think Arsenal win the game. It will not be. Arsenal are good at keeping clean sheets, so I'll go with a 2-0 victory.
Okay, 2-0 victory. For the match of the weekend, which will be played on Saturday in the evening, last match of the day will be between Manchester United at home against Liverpool, a repeat of the FA Cup quarterfinals against between these two sides. And we all know that these two sides are the most successful side in the history of the EPL and in the history of English football as well. Looking at them, when you look at head-to-head, United have superiority over them. It doesn't really matter. But Liverpool recently have found their mojo when they come to Old Trafford. Last time out, though, they lost by 4 goals to 3, courtesy of Amad Diallo's late goal against them.
And
last season also they lost. Last season also they lost at Old Trafford as well. 3 goals to 1 against Man United at the beginning of last season, not this year. At the beginning of last season they lost. So what do you think will be the outcome of this match at the end of the day? Liverpool have all their players around. They have Virgil van Dijk. They have all of them already prep up for this match. They will not want to slip up the way they did in the FA Cup.
Yeah, but Liverpool are favourites. To be sincere with you, the only advantage Man United has got is the fact that they play the game at Old Trafford. Man United will be here. 2 players picked up an injury. They'll be out for 1 month. Lindelof is out for a month. Alongside this man who just returned, Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, returning back against Arsenal and going back for another 1 month again. It seems the doctor's calling him, so he's picking up the doctor's calls every other day of the week. But Man United, like I said, they found a way to beat Liverpool at the Old Trafford. They may not be playing good football, but they push from the fans, at Old Trafford, gives them that extra zest, extra push to win games against Liverpool. Liverpool know what it takes. It's a high stake match for Liverpool. I think this will be their toughest game to the running. If they can navigate this game on hot, then we could start singing Edo-Vai, except there's a potential banana peel from the smaller teams from the table. So this is their biggest game left for Liverpool. Like you said, history has not been kind to them in this fixture because Man United, for some reason, best known to them, just find a way to record the victories in this game. Liverpool won the game last season. Last 2 seasons, Man United won it. Man United won the FA Cup as well this season. I think Liverpool will come with their full-fledged players. They will come with like Salah, who is doing well, Luis Diaz on good form, Elliott, Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, what a player he was last weekend. But to be sincere with you, Man United at home is a team to beat. I don't know how they do it. Even Arsenal in their glory could only manage a draw at Old Trafford. It has to tell you how even Man City could only manage a draw. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, at Old Trafford.
They won by 3 goals to 1.
Okay, so Liverpool that got it. Was it Liverpool? I'm talking about the team that got a draw at Old Trafford. I'm talking about the top team also that got a draw at Old Trafford.
Spurs got a draw at Old Trafford.
Exactly. So Man United find a way to just get result at home. So for me, Liverpool knows it's a must win. I think they'll be under pressure and they could gawk on that. That pressure could be their undoing. That pressure for Liverpool must win can be their undoing. So I want to go with Man United on this one. I want to bank with history. I want to bank with the fact that Man United will be playing for pride. The coach is saying, according to Erik ten Hag, and he said something, the fact that Man United are not playing well every game because of the overload. and I asked myself, what should Liverpool be saying? What should Man City be saying? Those guys are in like 3 competitions. What should Arsenal be saying? If Man United are having overload, I don't wonder what others should be saying. But anyway, I think Man United will get the job done and they will get a victory. I don't see a draw in this game. I see Man United getting a victory and blowing again wide open the race for the title in the Premier League.
Okay, Man United victory. Scoreline, please.
Whew, this is quite tricky, but I'll go to Man United to win by 2-1.
Okay. Sheffield United at home to Chelsea. Chelsea blew hot and cold in some of the matches we've seen them in recent time. We saw them against Burnley last time out, and we expected a lot from Chelsea at the end of the day in that match, where Burnley were absolutely had no chance to come into that game. But
no chance.
This is what you have with this Chelsea team.
Just
directly tell me, because I've told you what the Chelsea team is all about. Directly tell me, what do you think the scoreline will be at the end of the day?
It's simple, man. Simple. I think Chelsea will win the game. Sheffield United are in a bad place, a very bad place. As bad as Chelsea is.
Burnley were in a bad place as well.
No, I understand Burnley. Burnley were 1 man down. There was if it was 11, Chelsea would have won that game. The fact that their coach was sent off and they were 1 man down, meaning that every player playing there was playing with an extra motivation, play with extras. Understand? There was extra ginger. If I use that word in Nigerian Palace. So I think Chelsea will beat Sheffield United. They will concede. Mark my word, they would concede, but the Chelsea will get a 3-1 victory in that encounter.
Okay, 3-1 victory. And finally, we go to Tottenham Hotspur, the White Hart Lane, where Tottenham takes on in-form Nottingham Forest. Also, what do you think will be the outcome of this match between Spurs and Nottingham Forest, knowing that Spurs concede goals? They concede goals in every match that they play. Nottingham Forest have good players. Gibbs White. I don't think Nottingham can keep Gibbs White.
I agree with you. Yeah. I don't even think they can keep Awoni for too long as well.
They can't keep those players. If they are relegated at the end of the day, they can't keep those players. So what do you think will be the outcome of this match?
I think Spurs will get a victory. It's at the London Tottenham Sports Stadium. I beg your pardon. They'll get it. They seem to have turned their home stadium to a fortress. Imagine they found a way to get past Luton Town despite playing very poorly. A 2-1 victory. I think they'll find a way against Nottingham Forest. It's not going to be straightforward, though. Anytime Tottenham Hotspur play, they make the game interesting, and I love it for that. I love to watch their games. They make it interesting, but it's at the end of the day, maybe a Richarlison would happen, a Son would happen, and they love to make it hard and do a comeback. Instead of losing 2 goals and they come back and win 3-2, they make it hard for themselves. Like you said, they concede. As I speak to you right now, Tottenham Hotspur have conceded 44 goals in the Premier League. Good at conceding, but the thing is, they always found a way to crawl their way back, especially when they play in front of their home fan. So I tip them to win 3-2.
Okay, so we have completed our prediction for this weekend. We'll see the outcome of these predictions, and hopefully when we come back next week, we'll look at each one of them each of the predictions that we've made, and we hope that the crystal ball gives us the right answer at the end of the day. Thank you so much for being part of the show, the Sport Bishop.
Thank you very much.
We'll have you once more on the Premier League prediction show on Fancy Football.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be here. And for you guys listening and watching, please do like, subscribe, share this channel, because we are going global, it's going places, and don't forget, the best information you can get from the Premier League, and analysis, and of course predictions come from here.